See what Penta's going to start with first, though. Probably going to leave Secret to ban Lion. Unless they're just really wanting to get it off the board first.
They remove the Clash after watching them
right.
defense. Yeah,
nope, they're just going to take the Lion first. Okay.
Not surprising.
Yep. Well, I mean, when you leave the other team to do it, you could end up in a situation like G2 did earlier.
Will be Glaz, will be Capitao. Ying. Well, of course. Of course.
Hungary's in play.
Actually, Sir Boss and Hungary are both
that's
fantastic players.
Sir Boss has been playing it more.
Clash banned out.
No repeat of last time. I got to imagine Echo is going to be the last one here.
Yeah, either Echo or Mira. It really
That's true. Mira's still on the board too, yeah. Probably Mira takes priority over Echo. That means Echo will probably be played a fair amount then.
There we go.
All right.
Watch this, cabrones. And yeah, she's banned.
Well, they're leaving a fair amount of strong operators on the table here, so that should be interesting. See what they're going to go with. And Penta is going to start, I got to imagine Laundry, but could go for Dorms early first. No, Laundry. All right. They're going to be bringing that Pulse for that. So they're going somewhat standard defense and offense here. They're not going to go with the Captain unless they're going to 6th pick off of it, which looked like Lackey might be intending to do.
Interesting that Hungary's going for the Maestro, not the Smoke, which he usually plays fairly well.
He's a very good Smoke, yeah. Sir Boss, though, sneaking in there, they use the 6th pick Capitao.
Yeah, it makes sense to move in for the Mute. Instead of the castle playing on Laundry Supply Room, there's no real point of playing the castle on this. You're going to set up very heavily up top.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of too much.
And starting with the IQ, too, it makes it less likely they might want a 6th pick over to a Valkyrie, so there's some strategy in there as well, sneaking in that Capitao the way he did.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, having the Habana in here, oddly enough, none of the Heart Breachers have been banned, but all you really need is the Habana. It's very standard from Team Secret. You know, you have the Buck that can walk in and clean up from the kitchen. You have Stizzy and Alems that will combo together, take down the hatches and any equipment that's below it, so that'll negate the Mute. Plus having Leon to throw in his Zofia charges inside, plus Lackey to smoke things out and use his fire bolts. So all in all, Team Secret's setup would work anywhere.
Here's what's interesting about Penta's setup, though. Okay, they know Leon pushes from kitchen, so instead of playing a pantry potential hold with a hole in the wall, they reinforce both walls into pantry and set it for a meeting hold that is isolated from kitchen. So they're going to potentially give Leon kitchen for free, but then not lose anyone in the process.
Yeah,
and be able to hold meeting hall. So they still could. You only need so many X Kairos. Stiz could open up a hole there as well. You really only need one hatch for sure. So you could even potentially open up a way to go through it either way. So definitely some possibilities for it to go to either side. But they do have a mute jammer on that. However, Alems is Thatcher, so not going to be too hard.
Thatcher. And there you go. I'd like to take a look at Meepy here, if possible, Marcio. See what he's.
Oh yeah, he's on the Buck instead of Leon, which
yep.
is interesting.
So he's currently droning around, as he does have an angle that's being held by his teammate Alems. As Alems goes through, Leon's inside.
He's still clearing it the same way, just letting Meepy do something different.
You see even the hole that's been opened up at the back. If we can go to small tower, on there you can still see the wall that's open. Very standard. That's how you clear it. It's methodical. It makes a lot of sense, and it pushes Penta and any defensive team all the way back so you can corner them and not be afraid of their rotation.
I like this take much better than a straight lobby push because you take control of a lot of the map, and Oregon's one of those maps where you can't isolate an entire west side. Whereas a lot of other maps, you know, there's still rotate possibilities. This map, once you take west, you can generally keep it if you have the manpower. Now they're going to pressure from both sides. He's taking out those chairs, giving enemy nowhere to sit. Unfortunate for him. He's going to have to stand or just lay on this stage here. He is trying to find a nice angle. Unfortunately, some of the client-side debris. We can't tell for sure that's exactly the way he's seeing it because spectator might see it differently, but he is actually going to bail and just give him it and try and play it from here. A little bit risky to be doing that, but enemy's in a good position and completely takes advantage of it.
I'll find the kill on Leon. Takes a bit of damage in the meantime, but there's Hungary as well to support. It's odd that he's not running the ACOG on his...
especially the way he's playing it.
Yeah. You know, a lot of times you'll see an Echo or a Doc even or a Rook that's playing in this exact position just because you can use the long angles and bait your opponents in the meeting hall. But this is great for Penta. Did a bit of damage, but they weed out one very important operator in the Zofia, and there you go. Frag Grenade is going to get burned out by the ADS.
Well, on the upside, they still have the Capitao and the ability to go for the plant here, so they're still in a good position on Secret, but they don't really have as much control as they would like of the tower side.
That does hit the camera that's set in the back, the evil eye, but there you go. They're just going to run in for the plant, the exact situation we're talking about in previous map.
That's how you made it up.
However, Serbaz is able to win out the fight, taking down Stizzy. Ravon will get refragged by Meepy, but the diffuser's down on the floor, and Meepy has the information on it here, but Hungry will have to deal with the Capitao. He walks right into one, and then Serbaz and Hungry to clean up the last two. Hungry just walks in with a knife onto a Lems. There you go. He gets the kill in the hallway, and then checks back, and what are you doing?
I gotta say, I appreciate Penta, the way they played the meeting hall. First off, trying to isolate it first instead of trying to play against Kitchen. Then playing back into the tower, holding that tower control and forcing them to just concede it and just go for a push because of, time management and whatnot to be able to bait out smokes. And then just being able to rotate down from the tower right on into sight and have a lot of manpower without really losing anyone in the process. Just well played by them in terms of actually taking advantage of the way Secret play it. However, they're going to go to tower next, so this is where things get interesting.
All right, there you go. The Echo being pulled out by enemy. So we'll see how they play the Watchtower here, because it's a bit of a tricky site to play.
Yep.
T3 is definitely a big position for you to hold. The instant you lose it as the defensive team, you kind of lost the entire round, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's certain operators that are going to make a huge difference for this. You're going to have Panics needing those ADSs up in that T3. Yep. Probably will end up playing it as often the Jaeger does play, because you can keep an ADS in your pocket, so that way once they try and burn one, you can put one down after when they think they've burned them. And then you also have the cameras from Revan that are going to make a big difference, and also the callouts from those might actually help the positioning of Panics to be able to play properly. And then the mute jammers are going to stop a lot of droning of him as well up there potentially.
I wonder where Penta are going to set up a couple players, if they will set up a couple players on the opposite end by the bedrooms. Usually have a couple players there just to slow things down.
Plus you can peek windows and get shots on people repelling.
Yeah, in this case you'll have at least one player playing in here. There you go, Serbaz, and he does have a reinforced wall next to him in the attic.
Yeah, it looks like they've isolated that, so even if they're playing over there and it gets taken over by the attackers, it's not going to turn right into a push. But they have the Thatcher again.
Has to watch out for the attic windows though.
Yeah, that is the big thing, is those attic windows are tricky, especially when there's things like Capitao that can actually burn you out of the corners, and you can get hit by those lifelines as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can only ban 2 operators, right?
Maybe once we get to a significant amount of operators, more than we have now, we'll probably end up having to do more.
Yeah, 200 operators when yourself.
They're getting there. Well, so far things working out the way they wanted for Penta, but Team Secret are actually starting to isolate Panics here into a situation where they try to take him out. You see one ADS on the other side is going to get burned a little bit by a lot of utility being thrown in.
He has no ADSs in his back pocket. This is something that Panics explained to us before as we did an interview with him. To really use the ADS to remaneuver and play from the opposite end of the site. No, he'll get burned out on Leon with the finisher, taking down Panic. So it's a good frag early on. A lot of utility was used to take him out.
But this is the bomb site, so
basically
not a bad thing. If it was a different area, yeah, that might have been a little bit much utility.
Don't shoot your own drone.
That was, I mean, good shot.
The site's open. There's only the yokai need to worry about it, and the mute that's on the opposite end. They can just walk in and go for a plant.
Yeah, they know he can drop, but he also cannot go to the opposite side. But Serbaz, in his sneaky position here, well placed. He just needs to play patient. He needs to not move out. Grenade, though, unfortunately, he just got a little too greedy.
Stizzy taking down Serbaz as well. C4 will not connect. His enemy is still alive, but that's him down instantly. Revon has gotten one on LMs. Denies the diffuser plant for just a bit. But Lackey just watches the site, and that's it. When you take T3, that's pretty much it.
Yep. Situation where you cannot fight all that much against it. Sure, you can throw things up, but fortunately, you can also throw things down, and that's where that grenade was a perfect counter to the smoke.
Say it with me. It works both ways.
That's right. Despite gravity being a bit of a challenge, still, yeah, you could throw both ways. So, unfortunately for them, their attempt at trying to take tower, or to play tower and throw off the attack of Secret did not benefit them too much there. But it's 1-1, so this could still go either way. But same attacker lineup coming out here again because it's working for the most part. So not a lot of reason to change that. But I appreciate the swiftness of Secret in terms of they do their job quickly. Didn't always work out in terms of the first round, but at least they're checking off the things on their checklist in the order that they need to, unlike Vitality and checking them off quickly, unlike Vitality. So it's a good contrast. As you said, it's nice to see the same map 2 times in a row to contrast things like that, although Chaos also did a nice job contrasting Vitality's attacks. Maybe, though, with 4 kills, kind of leading the way there for his team, and Penta a little more evenly distributed.
I mean, it all has to do with the tower play, right? Penta were kind of trying things out here.
Yeah.
Didn't work out. It's fine. You already got the first round. Now they'll get to play on a normal, average bomb site. Switch over to the bedroom, and Hungry's just going to set up. This time, he'll be playing the smoke. Standard operator picks for him. Definitely one of the best smokes to have here in Europe. It's even back in the Orgless days, Mocket nowadays.
Yep.
He was definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much had 2 mains that he was well known for, Smoke and Ying. Nice little spot there for the Evil Eye. Take advantage of a little bit of destruction of the map there. You got to make sure to destroy just the right part so you can see it the way you want to, though. But I like the idea of having a way to have some amount of control over Master Bedroom, because you can't contest Master Bedroom all that well. You pretty much have a doorway and potentially some angles from the armory through the wall, but it is a difficult room to contest. So Enemy, though, playing a little aggressive. He's going to get droned out, fortunately for him. But does a smart thing, shoots the drone and peels out.
Yeah, we often talk about the drone economy, right?
Yep.
Have to mention it once every broadcast. Like, there's 10 drones in total. You need to make sure you have some left for your final push, or, you know, you might come back to bite you, and Leon will get one on Enemy. It's a great start here for Leon, who this time pushes in from the meeting hall through the tower, instead of the usual push from small tower.
Good pinch on the Bandit.
Now the Jaeger is pretty darn contested here, so they
He's
can shut him
likely
down.
to fall next.
Yeah, they can shut him down pretty darn easily. Instant Panics moves out here. Should be a clear angle. No, Leon will get shot. Just 1 bullet hitting him here as he fires in one of his Gajmot mines into the kitchen. Grenade lobbed into Sir Boss. Will not connect as Lackey. Will find the head of Panics and take him out. No more Jaeger.
Have dropped the bomb diffuser.
It's nice to see that Sir Boss is playing with the ACOG on the Meister this time. Leon, despite taking the damage, though, did manage to get the job done. Now he's free to rotate around, start take some more map control to make this push happen. With only 3 defenders left, they're in a good position, but there is still the smoke to deal with, as well as those Evil Eyes. So the question is, which angle are they going to push the site from? Because it looks like Kids is pretty heavily defended. They might have to go for a slightly different push. They still potentially have some X-Kairos as well to open up the Master Bedroom if they want to push that way, where they're not being contested all that well outside of Riven.
Leon still up top here, using the buck to his advantage, maybe. Trying to find an angle on his opponent's downstairs. Any bandit batteries that have been left out from Enemy before he taken down. Sizzy in for the fires. Leon will get 1, but Sir Boss with 2 of his own. They're still alive here on the site, but Stizzy will get 1. Meepy turns around for the final shot on Revan. A bit of a fuster pluck there at the end.
Yeah, that got pretty messy towards the end there. The smoke didn't help with that. You saw, for example, the Habana walk in. Someone immediately to his left didn't catch that little bit of head that was sticking up. Still tried to pre-fire through the wall. It's just a lot of just pushing heavily through that smoke. Sir Boss did take advantage of it, though.
A lot of clucking in the fuster,
yeah.
I have to say. So many chickens.
Well, we'll see if they can succeed on Laundry second time. This is the only bomb site they've won so far. So they're going to go right on back to it because they had to play 2 other sites first. So unfortunately for them, they are definitely going to need to win this to try and keep things at least even going in the second half. So I was talking about Enemy and Panic's playing Ella. Now Hungry's going to play. It just seems a steadfast operator for this team in general. Pretty much same lineup again coming out from Secret. I really don't see much reason to change it. So unless they wanted to bring a double hard breacher or something, it's. I mean, I like to see that they're still using the Thatcher. We highlighted earlier, Thatcher was actually fairly low on the pick rate for EU. A lot of teams just looking for other ways to take out batteries, mute jammers, things like that. Because on a lot of maps there are other ways to.
Yeah, Zofia, IQ, definitely 2 operators that have been fairly effective at that sort of role.
Yeah, sometimes depending on the map, Buck, Ash. There's plenty of ways to deal with a lot of those.
Just shoot it low.
Yeah, but the reason I like the Thatcher for that is just time management. When you can Thatcher something and get it open much easier than trying to work weird ways around, it just saves you a lot of time, and Thatcher is not a bad operator. So it just gives you the ability to push quicker and open things up before people can kind of deal with it, more so than trying to just hope you can take out the batteries. There are still, you know, situations like on this map, say for example, attacking from below on school up to the master bedroom, where you can easily take out batteries as well, but people don't necessarily bandit trick that all that much. So we'll see how the things go down here. They are going to have the pulse again, but this time Hungry on the Ella. I'm curious to see how his roam, because I got to imagine he's going to be on the roam, will work out.
Is he going to play on site?
I mean, he might start on site and go for late retake, say from tower side, if tower is clear. They are going to clear top floor first here. I could imagine they probably have Leon pushing down into kitchen again as well, unless he doesn't want to be predictable this time.
Yeah, there you go. Pretty standard here is they already droned up. You saw the drone there. There's at least a couple drones that went up the top floor, cleared out everything, make sure there's nobody up there, so the buck just instantly goes in. It opens up the first hole. And
I like that angle as well because it helps secure for a lobby push. So if your team wants to push in a lobby and you're afraid of someone aggressive on those stairs, and you can drone armory stairs and the kitchen hallway as well. Alem's, though, the one to potentially get into a site soon. Now, he hasn't used his EMPs, so he's going to need to make sure he uses those in time. But Jaeger is caught out in the meantime, sneaking around, so they are definitely going to want tower this time. This was the big problem for them on a previous push. Part of the reason why it was won is they did not control that tower.
Lackey again on the Capitao. Team Secret have not opened up the side, and they're just going to have a hatch open here. They don't need to even hatch this open. There was one unreinforced hatch, okay. They used the reinforcement on the rear stage, right? Am I mistaken?
No,
they did not.
It looks like it's pretty open, but they open only part of it. It gives them the opportunity, if they can find the right angle, to pre-fire through it, as we saw them do last time. They are, again, leaving it, they're pretty much just pressuring it and bailing on it. So this is down to whether they can bait out those smokes successfully again to go for the plant. They still have a minute 12 left. This is efficient enough. It's just down to whether or not that tower comes back to bite them.
Yeah, it's just a lot of utility being thrown in to burn out ADSs. Any utility that is preset by Penta on the defense. And there you go. First crossbow bolt will be thrown in. Panic setting up for his remote gas nade. With 50 seconds on the clock, this is definitely not a great spot to be in. Stizzy takes the shot, and he goes down as well. Panics to get the finisher here on the Hibana. Lems will sniff a bit of the toxic fumes here, as he'll have to fall back. A bit more time has been wasted with a second bit of smoke thrown in. Lems will go in for the plant in the middle. Shabazz should be able to give him the information there, and there we go. He'll get the confirmation on it. Gas canister has been thrown in. Lems will be the second one to fall. Panic's just wrapping him up here. Can they get the crossbow in the back? Yes, they can. Panic's ready to burn, but he'll chuck in the gas canister before falling back. Lackey moving down the stairs. Find the angle in the hallway. Little time left in the clock. The diffuser has been picked up, and that's the Capitao on the floor. 5v2. Big advantage here for Penta Sports. They find one, can't find the others. Leon will be the last one to fall. Enemy on the Jaeger takes him out. Penta Sports, very efficient way of defending on here. Just leaving the Jaeger at the end to hold any last-minute rotation angles from Penta.
Again, didn't have tower control. I got to credit, though, Panics. So the reason that worked is Panics waited till he knew where they were planting before using a smoke. It was the most patient smoke play I've seen in a while.
But how did he get that information?
That Maestro. Of course.
It's teamwork on point.
But my point is, the first time they did that, he threw out 2 smokes fairly quickly, and which wasn't able to get them. But this time he waited, threw 1 smoke, got the kill, waited again, saw the plant, got the information for the Maestro, threw another smoke. He was not just chucking smokes indiscriminately, hoping to catch them. It was calculated each time. I feel like we just rarely see that patient of smoke play, and it worked because it wasn't just throwing the smoke in, they would also fire at that spot.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they had a glass or anything like that, because they knew where they were at from the Maestro. They threw the smoke to start to do damage on them, then they started firing into that spot to finish the job, because the smoke may have been, you know, a little bit slower in doing damage because he'd waited first. And so that was a great combination. I would say they ultimately used Capitao smoke against them as attackers. So,
because obviously Maestro's evil eyes sees through smokes.
Yeah. And they had no way to see through smoke. So, well played by Penta. That was just Maestro and smoke alone right there, winning that out for that reason, along with, again, that tower control to make sure that they didn't push you from the other side too well. So, Laundry has been a success yet again. Can they pick up a third one, though, on this bomb site?
One thing I want to highlight as well is that Penta is one of those teams that is now coming back with a way where all the players are all speaking English on a European team. You have a German, you have a Swiss, French-Swiss, you have 2 Frenchmen, and a Hungarian.
We have a lot of teams now that are not dedicated language.
Yeah.
Because and so, like, I feel like some of the leftovers
has switched away from it.
Yeah, what do we have left that's solid language? Just the Swedish from Chaos?
Vitality.
And Vitality, yeah. Those might even be the only 2 at this point.
Yeah, otherwise, G2 just play completely, different mock.
And that's really good for EU come next season because now there's a lot more roster possibilities.
Yep.
But either way, we are going to have the typical Leon push here using his breach charges to open it up, as you highlighted before. Going with the push, but it looks like Jaeger might try and contest it here. So they definitely don't want to give this away for free this time, but this again could be free kills for Leon if he pulls the advantage off. Maybe get some teammates to flank it. Nope.
Oh, look at that. Perfect positioning for Penny. He'll get 2, and then the 3rd one coming in from Enemy's Alibi. Team Secret shot down by Penta Sports with 2 left alive.
Wow.
2 minutes left on the clock, and Penta already a huge advantage here.
I honestly don't see Secret coming back from this. Oh, unfortunate for Enemy, he just does not line those shots up. He has an impact as well if he wants to try and use that, but maybe he's just going to play this patient and try and use a grenade of his own. Timing there not working out for either. Unfortunately, the grenade not cooked, but Enemy just point blank destroying Meepy's chest, all down to Lackey here to find 5. You have some crossbow bolts left, but good luck, Lackey. This is not a great position.
Maybe if they all stand in a circle to sing Kumbaya.
Can you guys line up for me?
Maybe we'll have a fire in the middle of them, but otherwise, Lackey's going to have a lot of work to do. At least he's close to the site, but this fuser is on the other side of the map. And I guess Team Secret will just use this time to talk in between them. I guess he silent dropped there.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where you almost just want to spend the time talking about next round.
Yes, and this is, oh! Connects on Revan, definitely not something you're expecting, but it takes a lot of damage in the meantime. Diffuser is being guarded by Enemy and panics in the back, and Hungry finds the shotgun shot from upstairs, takes down Capital Team Secret. That's now Penta 3-2 on the defense as we switch sides. It'll be Team Secret now playing the defense.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they could pick it up here. I mean, as I said before, Secret has the better track record on this map, but I guess if you compare both teams playing Millennium on this map, Penta comes out ahead because Penta won 6-3 against Millennium on this map, whereas Team Secret tied 5-5. So if you're using them as a benchmark, that is one advantage that they have. But so far, I'd say some pretty good play coming out of Penta here. Some good reads into how Secret are playing it, taking advantage of their semi-predictable play. I mean, it's not predictable in the bad sense. It's predictable because they're doing what works. But at the same time, every once in a while here, Penta are throwing them for a loop. They're also going to fake the glass out. 4 drums here.
They go for the Maverick.
Panics did that a lot at the Euro Cup as well, and I honestly didn't see it benefit a ton. But he did mention he does like to open up holes to just kind of mess with the enemy team, to put them in a situation where they feel a lot less comfortable. And I think that is a good strategy, but at the same time, depending on the map, that may or may not really do a lot for you.
Well, I guess they are expecting a play downstairs in Laundry, so...
It is the typical first bomb site at the moment, despite Mirror being banned every time, pretty much.
Yeah, unfortunately, we won't have that, though this might be a bit of an easier assault into Generator. But, you know, Penta already have the Thermite. There's no disruption like that or as a mute or a bandit on Team Secret's end. So Penta would have already had the ability to hop in. So I don't know, the Maverick's kind of a superfluous operator to have on here. But it can definitely do quite a bit of damage even without using the blowtorch.
Yeah, it's definitely on this bomb site. Yeah, you're not going to get a ton of utility out of it, but you never know. Could be a situation where, I mean, he has a good gun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, doesn't have smokes because that got changed, but...
Thankfully. No hard breacher, in my opinion, should have smokes, but, you know, that's just me.
Hey,
what do I know?
Let's just think back to when Thermite had grenades.
Oh, and Ash had 3 smokes. They had 3 bits of equipment back in the day.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But either way, they are looking like they want to do a sort of similar take, but I like that their Panics took the tower very quickly as well to have some control over here. So far, this has been fairly efficient, setting up typical Claymores. Are they going with a double Claymore?
Oh, boy. Oh, my God.
I love it.
I love this.
High and low. No one coming out that door.
I mean, this is, I have to commend them. This is a very good thing to do because now they can just focus on the windows instead of always focusing on the kitchen. That's something that happens quite a bit, where just somebody will vault in and, you know, crouch out of the kitchen to deal with the players out of the windows. Penta with a beautiful bit of Claymore placement. Well,
unfortunately for them, there is no one between those two windows. That was something that was banned. Capitao was banned, of course, last match, and that's what you normally do, is exactly what he did right there, to burn out anyone in the middle. But unfortunately for Sir Boss, not going to find anyone, but that does mean that they at least have some ability to push into this room if they can clear it. Now the drone's coming out from Hungary to see exactly how they're going to clear that. Some sneaky potential shots here. There we go. Panics absolutely making great use. I mean, he technically could have just done that with a melee, but I appreciate that we get to see Maverick in action.
I'm not sure. I mean, with the melee, you can hear it a lot better.
It's true. It's very quiet.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Is even on soft stuff, you can also destroy soft hatches very fast and very quietly.
Yeah, it's kind of a strength, but at the same time, not sure. Please fix. There you go. Flashes are going to be thrown in here. Sir Boss knows that there's a player behind the reinforced wall. They'll have to deal with Lucky's Valkyrie there as they get another ping on it. Equipment being thrown in, but not really hitting anybody from Penta. Look at that. The huge advantage here is that Sir Boss will land the second kill for Penta Sports.
Just crossfires all over the place here from Penta.
Everything is so well done, so well thought of, I have to say. They don't have an extra crossbow bolt to throw into the back, but Revan just makes quick work of Leon Gids. There we go. He goes down. Revan with another one as he finds the angles on the Ash. And the Lem's the last man alive. We're going to try to give him some information. And Gumine gives at least a bit of info for Lems here. It doesn't matter really. Enemy walking in through tower will find the last kill. Penta Sports. Very impressive plays here.
I mean, it was pretty much by the book. They took tower. They secured the dining door. They didn't feel like they needed to even secure dining because they secured the doorway. That was all they needed to care about. They played from the towers to make sure that they could pressure so that no one could rotate over to that side at all. Even took advantage of Maverick to be able to get some shots from there. Pressured all of the windows. They had pressure on the kids especially. They pushed them out of the kids' bedroom, managed to drone it and know exactly where they were playing from, took advantage of the Capitao, set up all the angles they needed, crossfired everyone, picked off them one at a time with time left, like a good 45 seconds left when they had a lot of crossfires, and then just started to execute, which forced, of course, Team Secret to try and fight back. And that was the opportunity then to get them out of their positions, take advantage of all the crossfires they had. So just textbook success there. And well played. The right operators, the right moves, the right time management. Very solid from Penta. And that's putting them at 4-2 here. This is looking actually like Penta could take this over Secret, despite what the community thought before. But that was only the first defensive round for Secret, so it still could slide the other way. But I'm seeing a very confident and focused Penta here that I think is working out.
Definitely not a team that we saw at the Euro Cup in Milan last week.
No, but you know what? When you're up against teams like Empire, that could really fluster you when you got people like Joystick to deal with. So I'm not surprised there.
The thing to keep in mind as well is that we're mentioning Secret and Mocket quite a bit for that second spot. They do play next week against one another.
Yeah, there's still games left.
Yeah, so that can prove to be the determining factor.
Especially if they're in a tie.
We'll see. Even if Team Secret lose this one, then they'll be 2 points down against Mocket.
And that'll be a big chance for Mocket to, try and secure that spot, deny Secret the opportunity. Well, so far they are going for a similar take to what you would expect. Take the top floor, take the lobby. They're not necessarily going the same way that Secret did, but Sir Boss is getting... He's face checking this pretty aggressively. I mean, I gotta imagine they droned this first, but it's interesting to see him just push in, expecting someone to have returned because it wasn't actively being droned at the time. A lot of Penta droning for themselves, it seems.
Well, Secret just falling back here, at least trying to use Leon's mood jammer as best as possible to weed out any information. Unfortunately, there's not enough jammers to really make things too complicated for Penta as they drone out most of the map here. And Zofia's already on her job of deleting a lot of the barbed wire.
Unfortunately, there's 2 mute jammers down there, which pretty much denies their ability to open the hatch. They interestingly bring Thermite instead of Habana, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. They can't not blow the wall because the wall has been opened up.
And there you go.
This is an old school strategy, yeah.
Enemy should be able to get this, but there's still one charge.
Unfortunately.
No, you can't mute trick, my man.
Nope. That is unfortunate, but hey, at least he tries. Unfortunately for him, though, that means 3 mute jammers off the board. That's a lot of drone denial that is not going to be had now because he didn't place them anywhere else. Other than one, maybe. He has one that looks like the drone jams the stairs.
The last one that was planted there at the end.
Yeah.
That kind of jams things up.
Oh, here we go. Alems, though, sneaking around, could get enemy here, but enemy's actually smartly droning this. Again, they're droning for themselves, but at least they're not playing overly aggressive into the places that they drone. They're being cautious that the information they have is old because they drone for themselves.
The enemy locking things down here in the meeting hall, an angle that is very difficult for the Jaeger to peek against, but Team Secret just relying on information, and they don't want to be the peekees.
Yeah, they need something to bait them out. A push here could bait them into meeting hall, or they could rotate down tower. But enemy keeping control of meeting hall is still a good thing here because he could even potentially push late in if they push back from tower. But now he's going to give away his position and just heal out.
Missed the flashbang there, but time for the tack crossbows as everything's going to get thrown in. In the meantime, they use this to walk Panics in to go for plant. Hungry in the meantime is trying to go for the plant. There we go. A lot of the gas canisters have been thrown in. He's just moving around as Leon will get one. Lackey with the refrag as well as Alems. All up to Revan as he walks in, can't find the first shot, not the second. Stizzy takes him out. Now, fortunately there, the gunfights and advantages in positioning were all in the way of Penta Sports. It's just Team Secret that are able to walk in and kind of confuse Penta.
It was just that aggressive push that they didn't expect on that plant. And that's kind of what we saw on the flip side as well. That's seeming to be the pattern for these smoke plant attempts. I don't think smoke plants are really working for either team because either you're getting countered by the smoke himself, or you're getting countered by people just spraying into there because, again, as an attacker without glass, you are not seeing through that smoke. There's very few positions you can be in. They can pretty much spray, especially if you've got a Maestro with 80 bullets. You can pretty much spray every possible spot you could be in that area. So it's just working against you, not to mention the smoke coverage isn't going to be 100%. There's definitely going to be gaps in it and possibilities that you could be spotted for a second. It's just smoke plants are not the way to go. In fact, I would say the smart thing to do the next time laundry comes up, tower plant. Or I mean a construction push. Just push from construction. No one's expecting it at this point.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Either way, though, speaking of tower,
We'll get to see it.
So that's twice now they've picked it before they had to.
Yeah, Lackey this time is playing the castle and he's bringing a bulletproof camera and not the impacts.
There you go, something that can see through smokes.
Yeah.
Very useful. We'll see, though. Will they be able to deny T3 without Jaeger is the big deal here. They have no way to actively deny any kind of throwables or shootables coming on into the top of the tower. So this is where things get a little tricky, I think, in trying to hold that. You can try and hold it with a two-man hold in terms of being able to try to watch each other's cross. But there's still not a lot you can do about nades or the lifelines coming in. Or, as we've seen earlier, Capitau's crossbow bolts coming in and burning you out of your position.
Of course, already Capitau's bolts are not affected by the ADS. But on top of that, you make it so you can stun, lock people in place, make them a lot slower with the Zofia, and then follow up with the Capitau. Pretty difficult to deal with.
The one thing you can do to try and counter without Jaeger is runouts. Unfortunately, Panic's on IQ going to make that very difficult because he's spotted, cameras being thrown, he's going to take them out. And that was basically the one thing Secret could have used to help them out here. Without that information to know when to make the runouts, it can be easy death for you.
And obviously having the IQ makes things a lot easier to deal with the Echo, not just the Valkyrie cameras.
Absolutely. As well as the goo mines when you try and run in.
And this is what you should be doing. If you're playing IQ, look for the equipment. You know you're playing this in Echo. You already droned it out. Use your electronics detector.
Yeah, he's just looking for the cameras now. Unfortunately, the range being a little bit nerfed means he might have to expose himself a little bit more than he wants to find some of these cameras. But he is going to spot. I got to imagine he's going to get all the critical ones here. Maybe he's going to be the one to try and play upstairs. And he's got the windows open here and a goo mine on one of the windowsills in case they try and rappel on it. So that might help him out a little bit because you have to get off the rappel to take the goo mine out. But they might just shoot him instead and then rappel down after that.
And this is what I like. I talked about this before when Team Secret was assaulting this. Having the Ash moving down from below, holding through laundry, is very important. You make sure that your opponents cannot just use the bottom floor as a way to retreat and then go for a retake. Force them really in the tower itself. And once T3 is eliminated, you're pretty much just shooting fish in a barrel.
And that's the thing with the Oregon basement. an Ashe on a flank is almost always good, whether you're attacking downstairs or you're attacking upstairs. Just having that flank that can take gunfights very well is definitely going to help. And I feel like Penta are in a good position to be able to take this, but they're starting to burn a lot of time is the big problem here. That's what they're lacking right now, is that extra time to make this push, because they're set up in a lot of positions, but it's not close enough to get that plant just yet. However, enemy actually going to sneak it right on in.
The yokai drone is not seen because there is none. So enemy can just go in. There you go.
There we go.
There is a yokai drone. It will get spotted. They'll give the information, but the thermite of enemy will hit the shot. Alems will get eliminated. No more smoke, but the C4 Stiffy Sissy will connect through the opened hatch.
That might have killed the yokai drone though as well. So, because he was going for shots on it, but the C4 explosion might have taken out Hungry. Revan, there we go. It's falling apart. Down to the Echo though.
Yeah, the fuser should get easily set here. No, the yokai is still in. There's so much time left though. Sir Boss with one, but Leon will refrag. He goes in for the second. Leon turns it into 1v2. But now he's got to deal with the Zofia and the Capitao. And they know where he is. Decent chunk of time left here. They have to deal with the yokai and no more IQ. We'll have to decide, do I push? Do I play my yokai? And he's going to push it. Unfortunately for Leon, wrong decision there. And it's Sir Boss to take him out. Penta Sports looking real good here.
Unfortunately, just their lack of coverage on that doorway ultimately playing against them is the amount of times they were able to try and push that. Yeah, Echo was able to deny it quite a bit. Unfortunately for the IQ, he was not able to get an angle onto the Echo drone, but it was still a good effort by Leon there. Just could not.
Where was this Penta Sports in Milan?
All right, 5-3 is not what I would have expected it to be on right now, but Penta are doing a fantastic job, especially on these attacks. Looking very strong here. I feel like we're seeing a much more calm, focused Penta.
Yeah.
Like you can just see it in the way they're playing. They're not. I mean, despite his name being Panics, they're just. I don't know. You can just see the focus, and I think that is a big reason why they're 2 points ahead right now, and on match and map point. So Dorms again here. Tower definitely did not work out. Dorms also didn't work out last time. So unfortunately, the one bomb site that has been good to Secret is still locked out for this round, which could be their last round. So this is definitely advantage Penta at the moment. We'll see though. They know how at least Secret have been attacking it. So I'd say their one saving grace here is because they played this bomb site before, they could try and adjust to the way the attack goes down. But you can say the same about Penta because they didn't bring IQ last time, so they can play this a little bit differently as well.
Well, let's see if Capitao can keep up his strong point. I have to point this out though. Meepy reinforcing the two edges, not the center one, which is not really what you would usually see. If anything, you'd see only your left-hand side being reinforced if you're really going to play behind it, but you're always afraid of being shot through the mattress. So it depends on how you're going to play it. Stizzy might just not play the smoke inside of a kid's bedroom.
Well, the event of leaving it soft is you do have some players with impact nades and C4. If you need to make a rotate, you can, so that the room is not completely locked off, or you could just pre-fire through it. Let's say they're going for a plant in a typical area, or you could ping them, say from an evil eye. Gives you the opportunity to fire through that soft wall and stop the plant without even having to be in the room. But that's all possibilities. We don't know how they're actually going to use it.
Remind you of the days where impacts did not exist and people actually needed to use C4s.
I love impact.
To destroy walls.
Yeah, the C4 economy was not so great back then.
In this economy?
It's a real down economy for C4s.
Yeah, that's
so
sure.
soft walls right there, potentially going to work against the Maestro. But Panics with the first kill into Leon means those impact nades probably gone, as I can't imagine Stiz is carrying impacts. So this is, you know, all you have left is a C4 to try and open up a wall if that, you know, becomes a thing they need to do. But they are doing a good job taking control of the master bedroom and then droning ahead by Hungry to catch Meepy, so they know exactly what they're dealing with inside the attic. So far, again, another very calm, purposeful take here from Penta, slowly working out in their favor, especially with that initial kill onto Leon, and very little damage done to Sir Boss. Meepy's going to need to make some kills happen here to turn this around, because they've got now Bunk's control.
All right, Sir Boss still holding on to the hallways. Enemy has opened up the wall into small dorms. The generator, they can definitely move their way in. Valkyrie has been spotted by White Stairs. So Sir Boss still has all of his equipment in the back pocket. He knows there's a Maestro that he'll have to deal with at some point.
Yeah, they're just going to try and pressure him back, I think, at this point. But he's got a lot more bullets to pre-fire than they can. He can hold them off a lot longer, in theory. So far, though, no one really able to do anything because of that reinforced wall. They are kind of stacked up here a bit, though, which is something that can work against them. They don't have a flank on the big window or the kids' window. And that's really where they might struggle here in terms of side pressure so that all the defenders can focus on the one area. But at least Lackey's a little bit low on health. They could pressure him from down below if they want.
Will chuck in as much of their utility as possible here. C4 right into Hungry as he spots it, but can't do much against it. Lackey will take him out to make it a 4v4. Firebone's thrown into the back. Some Maestro sprays in, but it's Lackey to get the kill on enemy. 4v3 advantage for Team Secret. We'll see the rotation in from below. Try to take care.
There it is.
Players in white stairs. Sir Boss low on health, but it's a Lems to find the shot on Revon, cleaning up the rotation. Sir Boss down again. It's Tizzy with the shotgun on a Panics to clean up Penta. And even though Penta had the advantage early on, the execution was just not there, and Team Secret adapting very quickly to their opponents.
It was absolutely down to them just playing positions that Penta couldn't force them out of. And then whenever Penta was making a move, that's when Secret made their move and countered it, whether it be the C4 coming out, the LMs playing near the stairs. They just seemed to be ready for where the push was going to be coming from. And unfortunately for Penta, they were absolutely telegraphing what they were doing early. That was the big problem with that. And they could not take the Maestro out easily out of the attic, put them in a position where they could not progress except through the hole. So that funneled them through the one spot that the C4 could go through. And it just, yeah, it was unfortunate that they just didn't have those flanks in a position where they could do something with it. But this is actually getting close to a potential tie now. So Team Secret going from a 5-3 against a match and map point to now being maybe a chance at a tie and salvaging this for them.
It would still mean that Market are ahead.
For sure. So it's definitely not the best situation, but they are now locked out of winning. What can you do?
One thing to keep in mind is that Team Secret are ahead in head-to-head matchup versus Market. It's a 6-4, and they played on this very map in Oregon.
That's true.
In the first half of the season. So, you know, it all depends on what happens next week on Thursday. Maybe in Team Secret versus Market, we'll have a big change and a big shift in the momentum.
There'll be a lot of pressure on that match from those guys. Whoever cracks, it's definitely not going to be a good position there.
I highly recommend that you tune in for every single one of the matchups, but especially this.
So I want to highlight something. So we talked about it many, many times, that the attackers could not see through their own smoke. What did they do? They finally brought glass. So Panics now is doing something about the problem that we've seen time and time again of dealing with your own smokes working against you, especially when there's a Maestro with Evil Eyes and 80 bullets in play. That's a better position to be in. But Panics needs to land his shots for this to work, or they're still back in the same boat, especially if he dies.
I wonder if this setup means a push into construction.
It definitely could be as well, but I can't see a Glaz being super effective from construction unless they're going for like a pinch from both sides.
No, they have the Zofia, they have the Capitao. They have everything that could work on any sort of attack that they go for.
Yeah.
But this looks more of a standard.
Absolutely, especially Capitao Glaz like that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, they could rotate if they see an opportunity as well.
But, you know, the problem is here, maybe the Castle Barricade will work against Team Secret, leaving Penta in a much better spot to use their glass. And because Team Secret aren't bringing the mute, then, you know, it's going to be super simple to just, you know, shut down that hatch.
What I would say is the best opportunity here is for them to, first off, try and pressure Meepy and Lackey down into sight first to clear meeting hall, then have Revan set up to flank from tower, drone it first, get a drone in a good spot so you know where the defenders are positioned right there. When the push starts with the Captel, Smoke and the Glaz trying to pressure, that's when Revan starts to push in. While they're watching that, takes out people from behind, they get distracted, plant goes down, and then you just do gunfights from there at that point. I mean, that would be the ideal thing to work for them.
Soft ball.
Here's where they're going for the meeting hall pressure first.
Very well seen there, Marcio.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see, because they put a lot of their efforts under the castle barricades instead. Revan, though, is using up a lot of these utilities now that, you know, I guess they have the Zofia as well for the barricades if they want to deal with, but
they don't really want to take down that specific.
No, that's. I mean, that can work to their advantage here. Although, of course, Lackey probably has impacts, could just take it down in just a second if they wanted to themselves. They have the Maestro Evil Eyes in position to try and deal with the smoke.
Actually, I wonder if Lackey did bring the impacts.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay.
Good for him. He also kept one of his armor panels. Didn't have a good third place for it, unfortunately. That's where I would say maybe you could use it downstairs to try and deny an Ash flank.
Oh,
but
no.
Nice kill by LMs. And that's going to make it so no Ash flank for sure. Smoke's going to come down from Glaz first. as Leon gets to kill an enemy.
Yeah, it's getting very close to a tie as Team Secret, making it very complicated for Penta here. Panic's taking a lot of damage on the glass as Leon will rotate and hold the bathroom corner. C4 being thrown out will not connect. As you can see, Penta are all stacked up in the staircase. That can mean a lot of damage.
Yeah, they cannot focus now on their attack.
There you go, that's 2 in a row for Meepy. There's only 1 left. It's up to Panics. He might have the PMM, but against Meepy, who's playing from the top in the armory, it's super easy. Meepy just walks on up using that, using the meeting hall, and just takes them down. And that's why, even though you have the castle barricade to kind of not really worry about one of the angles, you still, if you opened up the wall from the kitchen into meeting hall, you have to follow up and actually shut down anything or anybody that is playing in the meeting hall.
Or you gave them a rotate to use, which is exactly what happened. So,
unfortunately there, but it was definitely a Class A game.
It was good to see them playing against each other very well in terms of trying to read each other down to the very end. But again, I was impressed by Penta's play because I felt like it was a lot more confident, especially than what we were seeing at the Euro Cup and in some of their games in the past. And I think they're getting a little bit stronger as a team from what I'm seeing here because they have new members on it, Hungary and Sir Boss, that were, you know, they're still fairly fresh on the team. But the fact that they've played so many matches, they've played the Euro Cup, they've probably played other stuff as well that I'm not thinking of, maybe some DreamHack, something like that. But they're in a good position.
They did play.
That's right, DreamHack Montreal. I believe they played, right?
They played in Valencia as well.
Yeah, so
they've played even and often played every single DreamHack. I'm not sure if they played in.
But I'm talking about with this roster.
Yeah, with this roster, yeah, it's completely different. They did not play in them.
Either way, though, I think they're finding their groove here and doing a much better job, especially against such a formidable team like Secret. So either way, that is making the top much more contentious here between these teams here because Secret did not get the 3 points that they want. So next week's match is going to be real nail-biter.
1 point differential between Mocket and Team Secret. And right now, the point differential is what makes the difference. First, if they were tied, then we would see Secret being higher up on the rankings because they have won the previous matchup between the two, and the head-to-head was 6-4 for Team Secret on Oregon between them and...
I don't even try to do the math on this. It gets so crazy.
Back then, both teams were known as IDK and Orglis. So it was a while ago. I think it was
two Orglis teams?
Yeah, I think it was week 3 or week 4 in the very first part of the season after Atlantic City. But anyways, that aside, we can dig into details a bit later on because we still have one more matchup. Supremacy versus Millennium. Will Supremacy survive and push themselves a bit further away from that 8th auto-relegation spot down in the standings? We'll have to see. We'll be back in a few minutes after this break for Supremacy versus Millennium.